The English FA has given Thomas Tuchel a single, clear objective for the 2026 World Cup: win the tournament. This generation of English players carries an immense weight of expectation, burdened by decades of near misses and intense public scrutiny. To break that cycle, the FA hired Thomas Tuchel, a manager whose career is defined by building rigid structures that insulate his teams from the inherent chaos of knockout matches. But to achieve that objective, Tuchel has made a deeply controversial calculation. He is deliberately dismantling the creative core of the English squad. He has excluded the nation's most technically gifted luxury players, leaving names like Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Trent Alexander-Arnold entirely out of the setup. Success in a knockout format often hinges on structural reliability. By removing individual improvisation, Tuchel is prioritizing defensive stability and strict management of the game's transition phases. England's probability of success now depends on reducing tactical variance. To survive 7 games, they are attempting to eliminate as many unpredictable elements as possible from their own system. We can see why these creators are viewed as tactical liabilities by looking at their underlying data profiles, starting with Cole Palmer. This bar chart tracks progressive passing volume. Palmer operates with a highly aggressive vertical approach, attempting 8.69 progressive forward passes every 90 minutes, far exceeding the baseline average. But that aggression comes with a severe structural cost. He completes only 67.7% of those passes. Nearly a third of his distribution results in a turnover, exposing the team to immediate possession losses. That exposure becomes even more critical when looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold's defensive limitations. This radar chart maps his overall profile. While there is a massive spike in attacking distribution, there are significant gaps on the defensive axes. He has a defensive duel success rate of just 55.3% and wins only 47.1% of his aerial contests. These deficiencies create tactical disorder. When duel losses occur in these wide right defensive spaces, it triggers rapid opposition counterattacks right into the exposed backline. Even centrally, Phil Foden presents a similar risk profile. He constantly forces ambitious combinations within highly congested central zones. While this generates attacking unpredictability, it guarantees that possession will frequently break down in the middle of the pitch. In the unforgiving environment of tournament football, defensive spacing determines success. Tuchel refuses to build his system around players whose creativity naturally introduces uncontrolled possession sequences. To replace that creative core, Tuchel has selected a highly specific profile of functional, disciplined athletes. Look at this comparative data table for Jed Spence. His defensive volume is significant, recording 257 defensive duels and 176 interceptions over the campaign. His ability to consistently recover possession across large spaces is prioritized over attacking distribution. This recovery security allows the team to maintain defensive compactness during transitions. Reece provides a similar anchor on the flank. He offers superior duel dominance, winning 65% of defensive duels and securing 64% of aerial contests. Contrast these reliable profiles against the omitted stars, and you see a distinct shift in off-the-ball tactical discipline. This philosophy extends to the midfield. Selections like Elliot Anderson and Morgan Rogers offer lower-risk circulation, combined with aggressive counter-pressing behavior. Tuchel is optimizing the England squad for athletic intensity. He is constructing a collective, impenetrable unit, valuing defensive reliability above individual flair. Modern international teams are often most vulnerable in the few seconds between losing the ball and regaining their defensive shape. This vulnerability makes controlling the transition the primary focus of Tuchel's tactical design. This tactical pitch outlines England's spatial structure. During deep build-up, they begin in a base 4-2-3-1 formation. To initiate progression, one defensive midfielder rotates backward, dropping between the 2 center-backs to act as a makeshift third defender, while both fullbacks push up the flanks. As play shifts into the middle third, the formation morphs. The 3 deep defenders and the remaining double pivot condense into a 3-2 box shape in the center of the pitch. This box is known as the rest defense. Its core function is to provide immediate structural cover, neutralizing opposition counterattacks while the front 5 attackers probe for openings. If possession is lost, the front line immediately engages in rigorous counter-pressing protocols, attempting to win the ball back high up the pitch before the opponent can organize. However, the high heat of the North American tournament means constant, high-intensity pressing is physiologically impossible. When they cannot press, the team must retreat into a highly condensed, passive 4-4-2 block. This conserves energy and chokes off vertical passing lanes through the center. England's spatial architecture fluctuates dynamically based on pitch geography. It is designed explicitly to dictate the game state, maintaining control without exhausting the squad. This meticulous approach to energy conservation and structural control is necessary because of the logistical challenges posed by the new 48-team tournament structure. England's initial pathway requires navigating Group L, securing results against Croatia, Panama, and Ghana. Their optimal progression route into the round of 16 points toward a highly hostile, high-altitude encounter against co-hosts Mexico. Navigating that sets up a difficult quarterfinal, a probable clash in Miami against 5-time champions Brazil. Pushing into the deep knockout stages means surviving a heavyweight semifinal clash against a team like Argentina. And surviving that places them in the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium against elite possession teams like Spain. In these late tournament stages, top-tier opponents like France pose a lethal transitional threat, capable of punishing even minor structural errors. England's 3-2 rest defense is engineered specifically to neutralize the counterattacks of these exact South American and European giants. Tuchel has reverse-engineered his entire squad selection. Every decision is calibrated to survive a 7-game gauntlet against the world's most dangerous transitional teams. With the defense secured, the focus shifts to offensive execution. How will England break down opponents in the final third without primary creators like Foden or Palmer? The answer relies on the foundational attacking role of Harry Kane and his immense, deep-lying passing range. This 2D pitch shows the tactical trigger. Kane drops toward the midfield line, drawing opposition center-backs out of their defensive line to create space in the penalty area. The system then relies on diagonal runs from wide players, piercing the space Kane just vacated. This isolates inverted wingers like Bukayo Saka in one-on-one situations, allowing them to exploit the fractured defensive line and generate goal-scoring moments. This pre-programmed attacking pattern compensates for the lack of central improvisation. It creates repeatable offensive threats without relying on high-risk playmaking. Tuchel's system prioritizes survival. Every selection and tactical adjustment is engineered to maintain structural integrity under the extreme pressure of knockout play. By reducing the reliance on individual improvisation, Tuchel is narrowing the range of possible outcomes. In a 48-team tournament, success often comes down to which side can most effectively suppress the chaos of the game.